How's everybody doing? It's Kasey here from the Ford Shopyard. Just want to let everybody know, I just set up my YouTube channel. They're on YouTube and looking to get the first video out, which is gonna be this will pretty much be an introduction video here, and so I'm just gonna sit and tell you a little about me and the things about the cars I've got. So, the first vehicle I'm going to tell you about is my 94 F-150. It's actually the first truck I've ever owned. Got almost 240,000 miles on it. It's not running at the moment. I actually pulled the motor out of it. And, so I pulled the motor out of it, and, because it had an exhaust leak and I never was able to get it fixed. So, pretty much right now, I'm looking for a new motor and transmission to put in it. It was fuel injected, and I'd really like to go old style and put a carbureted 302 back in it and just get it back on the road again, because it's been about 2 years. So, I've done a lot to that truck. It's got new headlights, it's got new tail lights, it's got new brakes all the way around. I had done literally right before I parked it. So, for a 90-40, the interior of it's in excellent shape. I mean, it ain't a stain, the dash is immaculate. And, I'll be looking here pretty soon to get it back on the road. So, that's project number one. Project number two is I've got a 1997 Ford Expedition XLT. It's got the 4.6 Triton V8 in it. This truck, when I first got it, it had been sitting, the guy said 5 years. I'd rather say more about 10. Just judging on the fact that when I got it home, I had to put a fuel pump in it, change the fuel filter. I changed the oil and filter. It had some chewed wires. 2 of the injector wires were chewed. Had to replace those. Like I said, I changed the oil and filter. And there was a few vacuum lines that I had to replace. I replaced those. And, put a new fuel pump in it, new fuel filter. Drained the gas tank, because the gasoline had pretty much turned back into oil. And, I've got pictures of that I'll show in probably what'll be the next video. And, but I got it running, and I drove it a little while. I let it sit for a couple of weeks, went to start driving it again, and truth be told, it never did run. I mean, it ran well, but it wasn't drivable. It just never had any power. I mean, I could crank it up and let it sit in idle, and then put it in gear, and I could hold it to the floor, and it would just, it would pop and skip and misfire. So, I put a set of plugs in it. I changed everything under the hood. Now it's pretty much new. Well, the motor's not new, but like the parts. I put 2 throttle position sensors, a crank sensor, a cam sensor, mass airflow sensor, injectors. Don't know if I just mentioned, but 2 sets of spark plugs, 2 new ignition coils, new wires. I put $1,000 of work into that truck now since I've had it. I've had it almost 2 years now. So, but after all that, it still never ran the way it was supposed to. And, so I just parked it. I said, you know what? I don't know what's going on with it. And I thought it might have been the computer, so I took the computer out, was going to replace it. But I never got around to it. And I said, you know what? Maybe it ain't the computer. Maybe the converters are stopped up. And on these Fords, these first generation, these first generation Expeditions, 97 to 2002, all of them had 4 catalytic converters on them. 2 on the left and 2 on the right. So I said, you know what? I'll just go cut all the converters off and see what happens. So I did that. And, I cut 2 of them off to begin with. And then had a lot of stuff going on, and I just put it off to the side. And then we ended up moving in October, and then about a month later, somebody went over there and cut the other 2 converters off of it. And the one off my pickup truck, they stole it, and cut the 2 off my white Expedition. Took them, they're gone. And so, never found out who really, I know the guy who did it, but, it is what it is. But, anyway, I hadn't messed with it since then. So, but I'm looking to put it in the shop and get it running here before too long, and start driving it again. It's only got 200,000 miles on it, so it's got. I've seen these trucks with 1 million miles on them, over 1 million miles, and they're still running. The original motor and transmission and everything. So anyone that says, "Oh, them transmissions and them things only last 250,000 miles," well, I can tell you right now, you're a liar. Because my daddy had I believe it was a 2002 Eddie Bauer Edition Expedition with 5.4. And it had over almost 400,000 miles when we had to get rid of it. And the story behind it, we don't know what happened, but he went to work one day and it caught on fire. That's when he stopped at the store one morning to get a drink. He went in, it caught fire, and then, the rest is history. Don't know why, don't know if there was a recall we didn't know about, but that's what it is. So, that's the story with that. My third vehicle is my great-grandmother's 1974 Ford Maverick with a 302. Now, the story on it, my great-grandmother, she bought it brand new in 74. My great-grandfather said, if you want she'd been wanting a car, so he said, if you want a car, you get your license and I'll buy you a car. So that's what she did. She went and got her license. He went and bought her the car. She drove it probably 15-something years. She quit driving around 1990 because she went to a grocery store one day and a lady backed into her, and it scared her so bad she just wouldn't drive no more. And it messed up the fender. My grandpa had to put a fender on it. And so I guess it was around 1990. She had quit driving it. And so my grandpa told her, said, why don't you sell me the car, Mama? Or give me the car, Mama. So she said, okay. And so my grandpa said, tell you what, I'll give you $100 on it, and you just tell everybody you sold it to me. And that's what they did. And so he took it home, drove it around for a while, parked it, it locked up. He got it running again, let my brother drive it. And then him and my grandma moved from Lancaster, South Carolina, where they were living, and they moved to Pageland. And so he drove from there to where my grandma was living now, and he parked it. It sat for probably 8-10 years. Then my brother got it and started messing with it, trying to get it running. never got it running, and my grandfather passed away in August of 2014. About a month, well, I guess it was about 2 months later, him and my brother, well, two of my brothers went out there and took it all apart and got it unstuck and got it running for like 1 day. And then that was that. Then my brother tore it all apart again for no reason, really. And then it never ran again. 6 years later, April of last year, I bought it from him. And I'm the third owner. So, what I've done so far was I have not completely rebuilt the motor, but I pulled the heads, put new head gaskets in, got it unstuck, put a new intake on it, new carburetor, new plugs, new wires, new cap, new rotor, 2 new tires, new headlights, new ignition switch, quite a bit of other things. New gas, I just put in a new gas tank about probably 3 months ago now. And it's got a new fuel pump. And I'm in the process of still working on it. I gotta put a water pump on it. And I gotta get the brakes bled, some other things. But I'm in the process of getting it on the road again. I've got all the original paperwork from when my great grandmother bought it. The original window sticker, the handbook. I've got it all, everything, all the maintenance records, everything. So I'll show you guys that in probably one of the next videos. And so those are my 3 vehicles, ladies and gentlemen. I'll try to have another video out pretty soon. And we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I'm Kasey. Thanks for watching.